Whoa. It's dark. Too dark. It's too dark, dude. It's too dark to do this. There's no way. What's do it? What's do it? did you I did. I did. DFF is canceled. There was no DFF today. You like this dark atmosphere? Yeah. I mean, look, I can't see shit either, so we're on the same boat. I'm 24 and have no driver's license. Cool. Yeah, TJ was, I think, recording a video upstairs. He's hollering, man. I've talked about my favorite everything. I've already talked about my favorite everything, dude. My favorite book, my favorite music, my favorite lollipop, my favorite pizza. You know what I mean? I'm never gonna answer a favorite question again. In fact, I think I said I was gonna ban the word favorite from being used in the chat. Yeah, it's definitely happening. Have you ever had a dream so real you woke up depressed? Yeah, man. Happens all the time. Well, I mean, not all the time, but I've had a lot of those. Dinor, come here. Come on. Stop eating sticks. Stop it. Hey. Hey. Stop it. Why, thank you, so. Thank you, Michael Frost, for the $2. Throw him inside. I'll get him some food. All right. Throwing him inside. Come on, Donna. Go upstairs. All right, he inside. Yeah, those dreams where you wake up and you think that the dream was a memory of an actual event, and it takes a few minutes for you to separate the two. Yeah, it happens. My most enjoyed. Get out of here, dude. I swear to God, dude, get out of here. You're on timeout forever now. As soon as I see you again, I'm just gonna put you on timeout again. Thoughts on nihilism? We've talked. I'm not watching Westworlds. Ever had a dream where you wake up and think you're awake, but you're still dreaming? Like, like dreamception. I don't think that's ever happened to me. That's one that I can't empathize with. Yeah, the losing your teeth dream. Yeah, I get those all the time. I've heard people say that those signify a fear of getting old, but I think it's probably more likely that they don't signify anything. Just your brain like working out some subconscious problem. Family friend brought over some chocolates from Germany that have 8% alcohol in it. Had one and they were pretty good. Drug foods? Hmm. I don't know, man. Uh, like a good, it's hard to beat a good pot brownie, dude. Especially if they're made like really, really concentrated. Like you make the weed butter really concentrated. Um, if that, dude, it's just like, it's like getting really stoned but having it last for 8 to 12 hours instead of 30 minutes, 45 minutes max. Yeah, dude. I listened back to some of that stream. Like, I can't do those sing along things with you guys because the way it outputs to you is I'm like, I don't know, I'm listening to the same song in my headphones and singing along with it, but when I play it back, it sounds like I'm singing like a half second to 3/4 of a second behind the beat. So there's some kind of lag in it in the delivery to you guys that I don't quite understand. It seems to me like if I'm hearing it, then it should be going out at the same time that I'm hearing it, but that's not the case. That is not the case. Ping travels, yeah. So doing that sing along shit, I guess you've got to you know, I don't know how people do that. Mm. Just say it's my artistic choice to sing half a second to a second behind the beat. High school was so bad that I still have nightmares of it. I was pretty lucky, I guess, in high school. I didn't have that bad of a high school experience. Why does the chat crave your validation? I don't know. Yeah, I watched the trailer. I don't know. It's all gonna come down to the Freddie Mercury portrayal. You don't really get to see a whole lot of it in the trailer, so that makes me a little scared that it's not great. We'll see. Holy shit balls, man. Stop with the. That's it, dude. That's it. Favorite's over, dude. It's a worthless word. It is a word that has been given way too much meaning in our society. People clearly care way too much what somebody's favorite everything is. So it's time. It's time, dude. It's time to remove it from my chat and from my life. The only place I ever hear the word favorite here is coming out of my own mouth reading one of your fucking stupid questions, dude. Favorite, favorite, favorite. It's a useless fucking word. It's a useless bit of information. I don't care what anybody's favorite anything is, and I don't think anybody should care what my favorite anything is. It's a word for kindergartners and first graders and second graders. When you're trying to teach them how to fucking talk, you ask them, "What's your favorite apple? What's your favorite thing to do after school?" Yeah, what was that? I have no idea. Dude, is my phone haunted? Yep. Favorite. What's your favorite? When your favorite. No, most liked as a phrase will be taken out too. I mean, there are a couple of classes of question that I consider to be lazy questions on the part of you, the chat that's participating in this. Not necessarily the mass of people watching, but those of you that are participating in the chat. There are a couple of really lazy style questions that get asked all the time, every 5 seconds. One of them we've already gone over tonight, which is the what's your favorite bullshit. And then the other one is opinions on or thoughts on blank. I hate that shit. Opinion on blank. Opinion on French fries? Thoughts on Tucker Carlson? It's just like, what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do with that? And I guess, probably in the history of this show, it's maybe once or twice a question like that has led to something that ended up being entertaining or fun to listen to. But for the most part, I just skip them. It's like handing somebody a bone that's been stripped clean and going like, yeah, there's a little bit of meat on that. Go ahead and nibble it off of there. It's like, what? Do what you feel. Do what thou wish. Oh, don't worry about it, dude. Nobody should feel bad. It just gets tiring because oftentimes people will ask me like, "What's your favorite this?" and I just talked about it. Like I talked about it either earlier that stream or one stream ago, or it's just something that I've talked about a million fucking times. Same thing to go with like thoughts on. Anytime something big happens in the news, I know that every time I do a Highdeology, I'm gonna have to contend with a million like thoughts on Childish Gambino's new song, thoughts on thoughts on Trump's North Korea deal, thoughts on, it's just like, oh man, do I like your questions? I don't know. I don't know who you are, but thanks. Opinion on opinions? Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, it's a little of both, honestly. Like it's that people ask them over and over again, and then it's just that I think it's kind of lazy questions. And I maybe eventually that's where the rabbit hole of ideology leads, because people are you guys might be struggling to think of something to ask on your end. And I am critical of your questions quite often, so a lot of you might be afraid to pull the trigger and ask a question for fear that I'm gonna, you know, rip on you for it. But by the same token, what are you supposed to ask? I can't tell you that shit. I'm just telling you the shit that annoys me. You want to keep asking favorites questions, you know? Go ahead. I can't stop you, but I can joke all day about banning all the words that you can use to, you know, illustrate the concept of favorites, but it's not going to happen. I'm just venting a little bit about dealing with it all day. That's why. Do you believe in aliens? Do I believe in aliens? Yes. Yes, I believe. Do you believe in life before death? No. The sour sop calls you fool. Seek it, sour sop. Oh, isn't that like a fruit? We talked about that. Sour sop, the fruit. Yeah, I don't want any. I don't want any sour sop. Don't want it. Do I believe in life after love? I can feel something inside me saying I really don't think it's strong enough. That's how I feel about that anyway. Um, if you could see any two fictional universes mixed together in a crossover, what would you want to see? And what form would you want it to be? I mean, I kind of already, like, I think that Alien versus Predator thing would be probably the movie I'd like to see most, you know? I'd like to see something done with that concept because I think it's really good. I like the idea of the power balance between the lone hunter predator and the swarming aliens and shit. I have some cool action sequences too, like thought up for it. I have this one like shot in my mind uh, for that movie. I would love to see you know the female predator is placed on this planet that's intentionally seeded with aliens with the task to go and kill the alien queen. And I think that she's sent there with a standard hunter's kit that includes a number of weapons that would be taken into battle by a standard hunter, at least in my mind, right? And I'd like to see one of those weapons be like a defensive kind of a 360-degree defensive weapon that she could pull. Maybe a couple of rounded blades. Yeah, think a blade that you can grab a handle in the middle and there's round blades on either side. Something like that she could grab. And I'd like there to be a shot where she pulls them out. She's got one in each hand. Each of them is the same size. She pulls them out, crosses her arms in front of her, and flings them like boomerangs almost. And they leave a trail of blue light for effect. And I'd love to see a shot of her throwing them and then a shot above as aliens close in on her from all sides, and they do a couple of revolutions around her, and then she catches them again, and it kills all the aliens in a 360-degree arc around her. I think that would be so cool. Especially if they were predator style blades. So they had like a little technology component to them, some magnetic property that made them return to her hands. That's what we're seeing. So we get a really good idea from the blue glow that they leave, the arc that they travel while they're just kind of cutting down all the aliens in a circle. Like they float around her. It's almost like they have some kind of guidance control, right? So she does the initial throw, and then they do a couple of 360-degree revolutions around her in an arc going opposite directions. So, the one in her left hand goes left, the one in her right hand goes left, and they cross in the middle. They do a couple of spins around her, and then she catches them again. And everything, within 8 feet of her, in 360 degrees is cut in half. Is that story where you and a friend stay in a tent for a night and the tent somehow moved by itself and you guys saw something in the bushes? Is that story true? That story is true. Like, in the sense that that's the way I remember it. I don't really have to add anything to that story. I just tell people that story as I remember it. Now, it was many years ago. I was way younger, I was 10 years old or so, maybe even younger than that. Could have been like 9 when that happened. So, yeah, been a long time. Been probably close to 30 years. Big Brazilian bitch. Yeah, she'd have to have a nice ass. Somebody's gonna have a booty to be the predator. I think Paul just has a bad aura sometimes when he looks into the camera just the right way. You can see the demon trying to claw its way out of his asshole. Whoa. Whoa. That sounds like an Alex Jones quote about Obama. I want to know what drug you done. At this point, I've done the damage. Like, everything I do is bad for some part of my body. Every step I take is bad for my back and knees. Every fucking word I speak is bad for the health of my throat. Every goddamn thing I do puts strain on my fucking body. You know, I grew up at a time where it's like every fucking TV commercial wants to warn you away from something you're doing because it just drives you fucking crazy, or it rots your teeth, or it rots your brain, or it fucking, I don't know, gives you cancer. And it's just like, at some point, just let me do what I'm doing. All right, just let me do what I'm doing. Yeah, for sure. No, I totally understand that. Chewing on ice. Yeah, I've always done it. I'm an ice chomper. It just feels good, dude. I like the crunchy sound it makes. I like the fact that it breaks up and then melts almost immediately because of, how warm your tongue is. It's nice. I love how it like takes on, like, if you're drinking something flavored, it takes on the flavor of whatever thing it is you're drinking. Yeah, dude. Ice chomping is the real shit. You were to listen to a song right now, what would it be? Dude, Salty Paul. It's been stuck in my head since I was singing it earlier. I hate ice. It waters down shit. Yeah. Yeah, I don't care about shit getting watered down, honestly. Like, if I get a big glass with a bunch of crushed ice in it, I don't plan on letting it sit there long enough for it to get super watered down. Like, I'm drinking that shit. I just want it nice and ice cold. Yeah, I might be slightly anemic too. I mean, I've done blood tests and I've had blood panels done and shit. And I've been deficient in different vitamins at different times in my life. I've taken blood tests and had them tell me I'm slightly anemic. I've taken blood tests and they tell me I'm vitamin D deficient, and it's just like, is there anybody who ever comes in and you're like, oh yes, you have a perfect balance of all the essential vitamins in your fucking system? Something tells me that the answer is no. You know, yeah, living is unhealthy. Existing every second is a strain on your body. It's like, at some point, just do what you're gonna do, man. You only live once. You're gonna keel over and croak no matter what. Whether you wring your hands about eating right, exercising right, or not chewing fucking ice, or not biting your fucking fingernails, or washing your hands every 15 seconds. Like, if you obsess about this, you're still gonna keel over and croak. Maybe a little later than somebody who didn't pay attention to those things, but the end result is still the same. Yeah, blood panels come back perfect, huh? Well, that's cool. It's good to know. It's good to know that there is an attainable goal there somewhere because I feel like I've been deficient in something different pretty much every time I get a blood panel. It's like, oh yeah, your vitamin D looks better, but your iron is low, or you're calcium deficient, or and it's like, all right, okay. In Denver, one of the healthiest major cities, everyone is bizarre. So you need to stay weird and wild in order to stay healthy in the USA. Is that really true? I don't know. I don't know what my blood type is. No clue. What do you think of Homer Simpson's theory that the universe is in the form of a donut? Maybe it is. I don't think it's. I don't really think that's a theory, and I don't think Homer Simpson is actually a person. So those are my problems with your question. My diet is awful, and I have no deficiencies. There you go. There you go. See, case in point. Um, in Japanese video games, they often mention the blood type of the characters for some reason. Yeah, they do. Yeah, like that's something that you really want to know about a character. Like name Hatsune Miku, profession mercenary, birthplace Osaka, Japan, blood type AB negative. It's like what? Okay, it's a mythological thing. Hatsune Miku, dude. It's a mythological thing like your zodiac sign. Oh, really? So if you've got like blood type, then they think that that infers something about your future, your past, or whatever the fuck. That's interesting. I guess that's why then. That answers my question. Yeah. So you're like, in Japan, if you go like, yeah, I'm AB negative, they go like, oh, you must like fried rice and sleeping in late on Wednesdays. You're like, oh, I kind of do like those things. What the fuck? You got me, Japan. You got me good. I don't know the personalities tied to the blood types. Yeah. Be interesting to see what they're trying to infer about some of the characters now that I know that. See if you can find like a little horoscope that details the overview of what each person of each blood type is, and then look at some of these characters that have had their blood types listed and see if they match up. My blood type is X. The doctors tested my blood and they were shocked when it came back that my blood type was XX. My blood type is Crip. Cool. Oh my god, stop this shit, dude. Stop this shit, man. My blood type, Brett's blood type is mac and cheese. Get out of here, dude. Get out of here. It's the worst. Hey, Paul, how did you know Ashley was a good fit for you as a romantic partner, dealing with a rough breakup and trying to figure out where I keep going wrong? I mean, I didn't really. I didn't know she would be a good romantic partner until we lived together and got to know each other a little bit and spent some time together and got over the hump of the honeymoon phase and got into actually living with one another. And it's just something you have to try out. This idea that you're just gonna know, like, it doesn't really happen like it does in the movies, guys. Maybe that's where you're going wrong. Like, there's no moment where everything fucking slows down and where you just know, like, you're staring at the person you're gonna fall in love with or whatever. You have to, it starts with being interested in somebody and then testing the waters of compatibility a little bit to see how you line up and where you diverge. Yeah, it just doesn't work out the way people think it does a lot of times. What's your favorite blood type? Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna have to find out what the horoscope behind each blood type is, and then I'll tell you. What do you think of the band The Police? Sting and the Police. I like Sting, and I like when Sting was with the Police. Yeah, YouTube doesn't like notifying people. We don't 100% agree on everything, and we don't want to spend 100% of our time together. We have our own things, and that's always important. That's true. That's really true. You have to that's important, at least for me. Somebody that's going to be with me is going to have to be somebody that, even if they're living with me, has a healthy personal life, because a lot of the things that I do involve solitude. And that's just the way I am. Like the things I do in private, I don't, I like to go and have my own thing. I like to spend time alone. I like to have quiet time where I just sit and think and vegetate and watch things that are interesting to me. And, you know, anybody that is going to be with me in a long-term relationship is not only going to have to be comfortable with that, but they're going to have their own things too. Because it's one thing, like, here's the problem. Here's a problem of compatibility in relationships that I know from personal experience. You can have a problem of, and I've had exes that exemplify this in my life. You can have the problem of having too much in common, to where you're too much like that person, and the things that you do for fun cross over so much that you're just up each other's ass all the time, and you end up driving each other insane because you don't have your own thing. And then there's the problem of having not enough in common, or how do I put this? Like an imbalance. Like, you've got interests that all involve me, and I've got interests that almost all of them don't involve you. So the imbalance, right? The interests that you have, you want to involve me in all the time, and you expect the same out of me. You expect me to want to bring you into my world all the time. You know, and I don't want that. I want some things to be my own. I want to spend some time doing my own thing. I want to have my own interests. So, I mean, that's really the puzzle, and Ashley and I fit really well, at least in that way, for sure. We have places where our interests cross. We have things that we like to spend time doing together, and both of us have healthy lives apart from one another, in terms of, having our own things that we're into, not relying on one another for entertainment all the time, not relying on one another's company for time filling all the time. We have our own things. We do our own things. We live our own lives, and when we are together, we meld well. And that's a hard thing to find. Sometimes that changes too. You start getting into other things with them that you didn't do before. Other things drift away. It's not a sign. Yeah. I don't own any guns. What about relationships with absolutely nothing in common, but you still want to try for it? I don't think it's going to work out. I mean, if you have absolutely nothing in common with somebody, then, like I said, that time is going to be out of balance. You guys are going to either drive each other crazy trying to get into what the other person is into so that you can spend time together, or you're going to spend all your time apart. All of it, not even just a good, decent chunk of it, but all of it. Balance, yeah. Balance in all things. That's the important thing. I mean, dude, there's a lot to be said for solitude, and I can totally relate. If not, you know, uh, empathize, then sympathize for sure. How do you find like-minded people when you're outside of the mainstream? You just talk to people, man. Like, you're probably not as rare a bird as you think you are. I find that about people. I find like people think like, "Oh, I'm just so weird." But in actuality, there are probably a lot of people out there that are into the same things you are. You're not some like unique little snowflake. You know, there's plenty of people out there that are into what you're into, and you just mingle with them. I'm not like other girls. What's a good way to handle resentment that builds up in a relationship? Um, Address it head on. Don't stuff it. Don't allow it to grow. I mean, you know, if somebody's done something that you resent, talk to them about it. And if you need to talk to them about it multiple times, talk to them about it until you no longer resent them for it. Because resentment grows over time. It's like a little cancer cell or whatever. The longer it's in your body, the longer you carry it around, the more it divides and replicates and eats up, the emotion and the feeling around it. You just got to be direct. You've got to be honest. If somebody's hurt your feelings or trampled on you in some way and you feel like that's still an issue and you carry around some level of resentment for that thing inside of you, then just let them know. Work through it. If they're good people and if they're good for you, they'll sit there and they'll listen to it from every angle that you've got to give it to them until you no longer resent them. I mean, that's the way it works if you don't want to carry that around. I mean, not all resentments grow with time. Sometimes resentments fade with time. Sometimes, in fact, I think most resentments do that. You end up resenting somebody after an argument or a disagreement or whatever the fuck. And then with time, you realize you were just kind of stupid. You get farther and farther from the emotional connection to that. You get farther and farther from it. And, it just kind of slips away. If I ever watched a Bollywood film, I think maybe I've seen one. I seem to remember watching one. You can't spell present without resent. That's true. That's true. Is there any things you have weird paranoia about? I mean, yeah, there are things that I have weird paranoia about, but I found that talking about those things is not necessarily a good thing for my mental state. At least not talking about them in an unfocused way. One of the things about the mind of a paranoiac is you're always walking that line between what your brain has invented and what is actually real and something to worry about. And I've found oftentimes that just discussing those things carelessly can reinforce them. So, I don't spend a whole lot of time. Like I've told you guys before about like run-ins that I've had with really really bad paranoia where I just lose months and months of my life to it. But when it comes to the things that I'm paranoid about now, like I said, I try and follow that rule of not talking about them um, not talking about them without great care. You can't spell advertisement without semen between the tits. Cool. What's the intellectual deep web? I ain't never heard of that. When did the panic attacks first start? I really started suffering from panic attacks when I was about right around puberty, which started for me pretty young. I started to go through puberty in the sixth grade. About halfway through my sixth grade year, it really kicked in something fierce. And, I kind of struggled my way through it all the way till about my junior year of high school. And it was during that time that I think it really started to get bad. I may have had some kind of bouts with anxiety before then, but it became really crippling when I was a teenager. It was amplified too because it was new to me. You know, now I'm an older man. I've lived with it for a long time. I know what the symptoms of it are, but when it first starts happening to you, you feel like you're just going out of your mind. Um, I mean, I honestly felt like I was going out of my fucking mind. I thought I was crazy. I thought I was a psycho killer. I thought like it just does, it unravels your brain in a way. I mean, it's more than just that. Having a panic disorder, it's like your life is coming apart at the seams. It's like you're experiencing a torment that's never going to end. It part of it is a fear that you're going to feel the way that you're feeling at the moment all the time, because it's this horrible fight or flight feeling, and you can't do anything to stop it. There's no flight. You can't go. There's no recourse. It's going to be there. You're just going to feel this horrible sinking feeling in your stomach and your chest, and this aching kind of pain in both of those things, and your brain is going to be absolutely useless. It's just going to have all this negativity flying through it, and all this horrible, self-defeating talk. And it's just going to go and go and go and go, and you're going to feel more and more sick as time goes on, just sick with yourself. It really is a private hell. And when it first starts, it can be one of the scariest things. It feels like, I thought I was losing my mind. Starting in the 6th grade and all the way through high school. I mean, I started getting mental health counseling and stuff pretty regularly in the 8th and 9th grade. But, before you know what it is, it just feels like you're going insane. It feels like you're losing your mind. You don't want to tell anybody about it because you're afraid they're going to lock you up in some room somewhere. But, you just don't understand. What kind of Pokemon would I like to eat in a barbecue? That's it. That's it. It's over for you, dude. Get into timeout for that absolutely fucking ridiculously horrible question. Caffeine gave me my first panic attack. Yeah, I don't know if my first panic attack was related to caffeine or not, but I know that caffeine can exacerbate my panic attacks. Was the hardest thing for me in high school? Honestly, I think unrequited love was probably the hardest thing about high school for me. I kind of felt left out. I felt left out because I had, I saw these other friends find somebody that they liked, and they would ask the girl out. And even if the girl said no at first, eventually they'd end up going out and they were happy. And that never really happened for me like it happened for them in high school. Like I said, there was a girl I chased on and off throughout high school. We definitely displayed all of the characteristics of dating, but it was never an open thing. We were never like, oh yeah, Paul and Tammy are together. It was always just like, oh yeah, Paul and Tammy are friends. But I mean, even that, looking back on it, was kind of bittersweet. Because that unrequited love thing, it's a driver in your life. And it's something you only really experience when you're super young and super hormonal. It's like you just feel like the whole universe is going to end if you don't have this person. So, there are parts about that, I guess, that I've grown fond of as I've gotten older. Sure, I get nostalgic about high school sometimes. I mean, I would never ever want to go back to that time in my life, but I had good times in high school, sure. And there was a sense of having way less responsibility back then that I miss sometimes. But I kind of filled my high school with responsibility. I mean, my freshman year when I got into drama, I just threw myself headfirst into that. That's all I wanted to do. So I was part of every show and volunteering my time constantly. Check out Old Greg by Godimus. You'll def dig it. I mean, I appreciate it, dude, but there's absolutely fucking no way I'm going to remember that artist or the title of that song. Like now, it scrolled off the screen and I couldn't tell you the name of that song. You see what I'm saying? Like, if you want to get me into something, hit me up on fucking Twitter or something. Like, put it in, like, so I can look at it at a time where I'm not completely incapable of checking into it. You know what I mean? This is not not a good place. Just trying to help out. High school was horrible, boring, exhausting, having to deal with people. Sure, I can see that. I mean, I could definitely see why some people would feel that way about it. It wasn't that way for me. Yeah, that's fine, dude. Don't worry about it. Just trying to help out. Are you fishing my waters, boy? What? What? Reached a point in my life where I'm longing for high school. That'll be the surest sign for me that I wasted my life. Yeah, I don't think that like being nostalgic about high school means longing for high school. I think it's just about looking back with a less critical eye and looking at the sum total of it. As you get older, you get better and better perspective on things that have happened to you in your life. You become more and more emotionally detached from it, and more able to see it for what it was. And typically, there's a lot of positive in there that you didn't see at the time because especially me. You can imagine me as a high schooler how negative I am. Um, I was just that way in high school. Always a pessimist, always a negative Nancy. you know. I was always stressed about grades in college. They said go to college or else you'll be a loser burger flipper or garbage man. Yeah, I got that same talk too. I guess it just didn't resonate with me as hard as it resonated with you. I mean, for me, there was really nothing wrong with being a fucking burger flipper or garbage man. You know what I mean? Somebody's got to do that shit. And if that's how you make your nut, whatever. How's that any better or worse than working some office job I hate? Whatever. Yeah, garbage men. Yeah, they make a pretty good fucking living. A chef ain't bad either. I mean, pretty much anything ain't bad. Why is the screen black? Because it's dark out here, bro. My dad's a garbage man and hates his job. Well, I mean, most people hate their fucking jobs. Going back to college is not an impossible task. It's just as possible as it was when you tried it the first time. It just requires you to be dedicated and to stick it out. That's all. I mean, why? I never understood that shit with people about college. You know, I guess I struggle with it too, though. That idea that like, oh man, it's too late, man. I can't go back to college. It's like, why? Like, do you really think that you're any stupider than your average fucking high school kid going straight into college? It's like, just go do it. I mean, if that's what you want. I never push people towards that. It all depends on if that's something that you have to do to get where you need to be in life. Some people don't need school, and that's just a fact. My advice for anyone in college or asking a job: learn how to complete a task. But working with others tends to make things happen. That's what employees want. I mean, that does help for sure. College is for people who know what they want to do. I mean, you need to know at least you need to have at least an idea of your strengths walking into college. I'm not saying that like when you go to college, you don't necessarily need to know exactly what you want to do, but you need to have an idea where you're going to be focusing, what kind of thing. I mean, part of college is exposure because high school doesn't do its job. High school should do the job of exposing kids to concepts and different types of careers so that kids can get an idea what their aptitudes are, what they're interested in. That doesn't happen. That doesn't happen very often. In fact, more often than not, that doesn't happen. So then kids are forced into this position of having to go to fucking college to figure out what they want to be. Do you think people are entitled to basic needs like food, water, and shelter since nobody chooses to exist? Yeah. Yeah. Yes. I'm a huge supporter. Like one of the only short-term political ideas that I really throw any support behind is the idea of a universal basic income. I think it should have happened years and years and years ago. I think if it would have happened back in the 80s and 90s when I was a kid, we'd be living in a much better world today. Yes, I believe that every person in this country should be entitled to the basics that it takes to live a life because you need to have that in order to get a job or go to college. You can't do anything in this country if you don't have enough money to dress, to clean yourself, to buy at least, a somewhat snazzy looking outfit and a car. You just can't. So everybody should be entitled to the baseline. Everybody should have a roof over their head. Everybody should have enough money to buy enough food to put in their bellies with a little discretionary spending income beside so that their lives aren't just counting their pennies. They can have a little extra money on the side, maybe enough money to go on vacation once a year or, whatever. Little discretionary spending money, and that's all. You say you would quit your job fast, but I have a feeling you would probably want to go get it back. Because, the idea of I mean, there would be people that just didn't work their whole lives, and more power to them. If that's what they want to do with their lives, who am I to stand in judgment of that? But my vision for a UBI is not that people are living high on the hog. It's that, people have a safety net. People have a guaranteed amount of money that they can fall back on if they lose their job or can't find a job. I'm willing to deal with the freeloaders in order to make sure that everybody has that safety net, no matter what. But yeah, whoever it was that said they'd quit their job so fast, you'd probably go looking for another job in 6 months to a year because you'd be bored of being broke. You'd be bored of counting every penny you have and wondering, can I afford to go to the fucking movies this week? Nope, can't do that because if I do that, then I'm not going to have enough money to buy that Xbox 360 game I wanted next month. You're going to get bored of that. You're going to go get a job. Period. Xbox 360, yeah, dude. America's already socialist. It's just socialism for the rich. Well, I've heard that line before, but I don't know that I buy it. There are other words that describe the American system of funneling money to the top better than reverse socialism or whatever the fuck. Like, why tarnish the idea of socialism by applying it to the rich fucks when plutocracy exists as a term, when kleptocracy exists as a term, when crony capitalism exists as a term? Those three things right there are way better descriptors of the upper class in this country than, well, they're just socialists of a different kind. Corporatism. Yeah, there you go. Predatory capitalism, or I've heard vulture capitalism as well. I mean, that's a kind of different thing, though, vulture capitalism. Vulture capitalists are people that profit from other people's misfortune. That's vulture capitalism, right? So that's somebody that's constantly looking for someone who's desperate that they can snatch up their business and sell off the assets and make a bunch of fucking money. Or looking for, poor people in a country to exploit, profiting off of misery. Socialism is dangerous if it goes too far, but I do think a little is good. Capitalism has already gone too far. I mean, whether you think a little is good or not, a little exists in modern society, and I don't think a little dash more is gonna mean that we're immediately like, the fucking slippery slope fallacy is real when you're talking with people about socialism. The first thing you're gonna hear is, "Oh yeah, well what about Russia, man? What about the USSR, man? What about that? What about Stalin, man? What about Stalin? What about Mussolini, bro? What about Mao, man? What about Chairman Mao, man? What about Chairman Mao, man?" Yeah, it's just an exercise in like dealing with somebody having an apoplectic fit about something. You know what I mean? Like, all right, man. Chairman Zhao Dedong. I always remind right wingers that capitalism has killed just as many people as communism. Oh man, dude, they don't like hearing that. They don't like hearing that. When you tell them that our way of life here is built on the bodies of people in other countries and in this country who've just been worked to death so that we can have our fucking sneakers and shit. And when you tell them that capitalism is culpable for those deaths, capitalism is culpable for the misery that it exports to other countries and presses down on people right here. When you tell them that capitalism, that capitalist thought, that capitalist economic policy is responsible for that misery, that it's culpable for the misery that it exports around the globe. Oh man, dude, talk about immediate fucking defensiveness. It's okay to paint socialism as something that just, no matter what, devolves into totalitarian fascism. But when you want to talk about the real impact of capitalism, and I'm talking about exporting it out to fucking war too, you don't think that the fact that people make billions of dollars on wars an influencing factor in the amount of wars that we've gotten ourselves into? What about the deaths in all those wars? You know, I've heard estimates of the dead from the war when you take into account secondary factors like starvation, exposure, lack of access to clean water or enough food or good enough medicine, that the death toll just from our invasion of Iraq might be over 1 million people. That's just the invasion of Iraq, 1 million people. 1 million civilians either killed directly in combat or killed by secondary factors of war. So if you want to talk to me about ideologies exporting misery and creating, horrible, horrible bloodshed, then let's talk about Let's talk about the capitalist ideology as well. Yeah, good old blood diamonds. Whoa. Crazy motherfuckers. All wars are waged by capitalists currently. Wars for resources. That's the thing, man. That's all I'm saying. Like, I'm willing to talk about how socialism has failed in the past and how it's led to death and degradation and misery in societies. I'm willing to talk about that shit. But if you're not willing to allow me to juxtapose what capitalism does, you know, the misery and death and destruction that capitalism exports around the world, then fuck you. We're not having a conversation.
Capitalism is paradise on earth.
Yeah. Total fucking paradise, dude. Not exploitative at all. ISIS are capitalists? No. I mean, like...
Can you buy all that? I mean, I don't know. I guess they sell some of their flags.
Yeah, maybe.
Get your ISIS mug. 100% of the proceeds go to ISIS.
Most of the people making these arguments don't even understand the difference between socialism and communism. Oh, dude, that's just gone away. Socialism and communism are just the same things. They're used interchangeably now. Whoa.
Son of a bitch.
Why'd you son of a bitch me?
No, not you.
Oh.
Dinor.
Oh, Dinor.
First thing he does when he gets out here is go to a stick. I'm like, fuck you.
Yep. You stick-eating piece of shit.
Going back inside.
What an idiot, man.
Yeah.
Like, how many times is he gonna throw up wood chips before he realizes he's not a beaver?
Yeah, seriously.
Solve all the world's problems right now? Okay. Launch the nukes. There, I guarantee you, dude, launch every nuke, glass the planet, and there will never be a human problem ever again. Human problems will be over. How's that? It's a one-step plan, dude. A one-step plan to end all human problems, to bring absolute world peace, to end world hunger, to end, you know, the horribly shameful fact that so many millions of people live without a source of clean water on this planet. It ends, you know, childhood abuse. It ends spousal abuse and murder and greed and theft and the problems of all governments. It's the great equalizer, man. Sets us all back to zero and never lets us go to one again. Yep. Any health problem, AIDS, childhood disease, you know, childhood cancer. It ends forever. Any political disagreement, any argument you've ever had with any person is over, settled once and for all. Bring on the Nukakes. China is enslaving Africa via debt. China's enslaving us via debt. You know how much of the national debt China owns? Our national debt? It's a staggering number. Go look it up. That's part of China's fucking plan, dude. But yeah, set the debt back to zero. Debt's just a number in a database somewhere. You nuke the planet, that number goes away. That number is not just goes to zero, it just doesn't exist anymore. In fact, the entire concept of debt evaporates immediately. See? All problems. Over. Done. What?
That's a flat white that I did.
Ooh, looks nice.
Thanks.
Looks real nice. This is insipid. This is insipid, Paul's ego. You listen to this guy. You listen to this fucking guy. He's insipid. You listen to this fucking Paul's ego guy, TJ?
Yeah, I saw someone in the subreddit's still bitching about our criticism of Civil War, dude.
Of Civil War?
Yeah, yeah, the movie.
What movie?
It's movie Civil War, Marvel movie.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
They're
Somebody's still butthurt about
still
that?
whining about it.
Ridiculous.
If Paul doesn't, he went through his screed of why we're wrong, and then he's like, and if Paul doesn't see it, he's obviously too fucking stupid.
Wow. Wow, dude.
Hi, chat.
Stupid.
Insipid.
What an insipid twat. God damn, that Paul's ego. Stupid. Insipid. Retarded. Don't know nothing about nothing.
Hello. Howdy. Hi, Fraxco. What's up, dude? It's been a while. Well, a few days, I guess. What's my favorite drink to make at Starbucks? That's a good question. Well, I got complimented on making a really good double shot on ice consistently, so I guess probably that. I don't know. It's actually pretty fun to make. A little annoying, but also fun. Ashley, tell Paul he's gay. I do that every day. My favorite number in the alphabet. The flavor that Paul vapes changes, but he always puts extreme ice in it. My voice changed. I don't know why it would have. I don't know when the next Starbucks happy hour is. I would have to check. Who is this female? I'm Paul's girlfriend, Ashley. Do you ever drink coffee black? I didn't used to until I started working at Starbucks. Who is this thought? You know who this is, Puddles. Chai tea is the best drink ever. Paul's favorite drink is a venti iced chai with 2 pumps of raspberry, and that's really good. So if you really like chai, you should definitely try that. Ashley, I know about your plan to kill Paul. Shh. Oh, shit.
Dude, that was me that typed that. On an alt.
The plot thickens.
I know about your plan. I know. Dude, did you tell them what kind of vape I vaped, dude?
I just told him that your flavor always changes, but you also always have extreme ice in there.
all these years, I've never once told them what I vape, dude.
But I didn't tell them exactly what you vape, because it always changes.
All these years, dude.
But the
all
one thing
these
that
years,
stays
the only
consistent-
thing that I would tell them is Bubblicious Grape when they ask that fucking question, and now you've exposed me, dude. I walk away from my stream for 5
sorry.
seconds, and you exposed me. Now they all know. Now they all know, dude. Now they all know.
I'm sorry.
Look at them. Look at them. They're taunting me with it now.
More extreme ice, bitch.
Now the Bubblicious Grape vape meme is over. It's over. You killed it. You killed it. No, I'm kidding. I just never wanted to bother telling them, so I just came up with a stupid
They all
name.
just want to be like you and vape the same shit you're vaping.
Is that what it is, dude?
I think it
is. Do you think that they think they'll feel more connected to me once they get that extreme ice up in their lungs?
Probably.
They're like, oh yeah, it feels just like Paul's ego in my lungs.
Like, why do you think they ask you like what your favorites of things are all the time?
I don't know.
Because they want to also experience your favorite things so that they can be more like you.
What, dude?
Because they love you so
What?
much. Yeah, that's it.
You're full of shit,
They're like,
dude.
"What's your favorite movie, Paul?" And then you tell them, and then they go and watch the movie, and then they're like, "Wow, I feel so much closer to Paul now."
I know what I've seen Paul's favorite movie, man.
I want to be like you, Dad.
God, man.
They.
I learned it from watching you, Dad. That was the best fucking anti-drug ad ever. Where'd you get this stuff? Where did you learn to do this?
Can I have some of that?
Yeah. I learned it from watching you, okay?
Man, it is really humid out here.
Parents who do drugs have
Yeah.
kids who do drugs.
Yep. Whoa, look, it happened again.
Whoa.
See the blue stripe of doom?
What the fuck is that?
I don't know, it happened earlier, too.
Go in.
I honestly think my phone is dying.
Inside the house. Salvador, go inside. Go.
Is the
Oh.
cat right there or the dog?
You want to go past them.
Oh,
Our
Salvador.
animals are pussies. Well, not Squeaks, I guess.
Squeaks is... I wish Squeaks was a pussy.
I mean, I guess he's a pussy, but not really a pussy.
Yeah. Where's the bug light? It's out here. I'm just sitting on a different side of the couch. Or the table, I mean.
The outdoor couch.
Mm-mm. Paul would be a good yellow cab driver, vaping extreme ice outside the airport, waiting for businessmen to drive to the Holiday Inn. Thanks. I think I'd be good at that too. You should pop acid and watch Canadian PSAs. I've seen Canadian PSAs, dude. I've seen enough.
It's
Get out of here.
my son.
I'm sick of the weed talk, dude. Get out of here. Shoot.
Weed, 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 weed,
Canada,
weed, weed,
one out of
weed,
every
weed,
two
weed,
women
weed.
will be raped.
Whoa, is that true?
I don't know.
I heard in Sweden it's more likely for a woman to be raped than to get a promotion. Is that true? I've heard that every time a woman leaves her house after dark in Stockholm, there is a 98% chance that she's going to be raped by a Muslim before she gets to her
What if
destination.
she's promoted to office rape slut?
Oh, well that would break the whole thing then.
Right. Just change the definition of rape to be a promotion. So
Right.
solve the problem. And then come home excited. I was raped today.
I got a
Rape slut.
I got a rape promotion.
Rape slut, rape slut.
Office rape slut.
Come on, Sal. Get out of there. Go inside. Do it. Do it. Do it. Go inside.
Paul is joking about how fucked Sweden is, but I went last year. It actually is really that bad. It's not just an alt-right conspiracy. Okay. Yeah. The streets of Stockholm are just a fucking total fucking violent mess right now.
Fires in the streets.
Muslims with laser rifles.
How did my voice wake you up? Fuck you.
Maybe they're just used to sleeping through my droning voice, and then
Yeah, maybe.
you come out here and they're like, huh?
Say pee-pee, do it live. Oh shit.
Pee-pee?
Damn it.
Pee-pee?
Pee-pee.
Why did somebody want you to say pee-pee?
I don't know.
Tell that person to suck it.
But I'm high enough to where I read it out loud, so.
Tell that person to suck it. Pee pee.
Pee pee.
Pee pee. Poo poo. Pee pee poo poo. Caca doo doo. I got my mouth washed out with soap one time when I was in kindergarten because I begged my mom to let me call my friend John on the phone, who's my next door neighbor, my best friend. And she called, his mom and was like, Peaches wants to talk to John, and she's like, all right. He put us on the phone, right? And I thought I was all alone. And so almost immediately, he and I just started to be like, pee pee, poo poo. And then our moms were listening in on the other fucking line,
Oh my god.
So both of us got busted and got our mouths washed out with soap.
What?
Yep, because we were cussing.
That's cussing.
Yeah, saying pee pee, poo poo, caca, doo doo.
What?
When I was in kindergartner, you only said those words when you were like talking about the actual act.
Oh my.
Like I have to take a pee pee, that was fine. But if you're like giggling with your friend going pee pee, that's a cuss.
I remember like
That's a cuss.
sometime in elementary school. Oh, maybe it was like first grade or something, or maybe it was after that. I don't remember. But my cousin was allowed to say crap, and I asked my grandma, if I could say crap, and she told me no, and that was the end of that.
Oh.
Because I was a good girl.
Oh.
But eventually I started saying bad words.
Crap, dude.
Yeah.
The ultimate bad word, crap.
Crap was a bad word.
That usually is the first bad word that you're allowed to say around your
Yeah.
parents, though.
Eventually I could.
Like, eventually, you're allowed to be angsty enough to be like, sick of this crap, and not get in trouble for it,
Yeah. But, like, I mean, my grandma, my great-grandma were very, like, even if I did say something kind of like that, they were just like, that's not ladylike. So they were,
That's not ladylike.
Yeah.
So they didn't really punish you for it. They just tried to shame you out of it.
Yeah.
And you were like, probably like, fuck, I don't care about ladylike.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Like every other kid.
So I just learned to not, like, cuss around them or anything. I mean, like, I never really did.
It was always a
Begin with,
balancing
but if
act.
it slipped,
Yeah, I like by the time I was a teenager, I could say pretty much whatever I wanted. Like as long as that, like it was cuss words delivered in anger that got me in trouble when I was a teenager. If I was just like, oh, there's whatever, some bullshit at school, my mom didn't even care.
Yeah.
But if I was talking about her and I was like, man, you're such fucking bullshit, and then I was in trouble.
Yeah.
So it's like,
I didn't even get the first option though. Really, there was no cussing for me, and I still don't. Like I'll talk to my grandma on the phone, and I want to say like, God, it's just been like shitty today, but like I kind of have to stop myself.
so because she still doesn't want to hear it.
Yeah.
She still doesn't want to hear you cuss and stuff.
Yeah. Sometimes I'll let it, like I've let it slip here and then, but I I do find myself stopping myself still.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, dude. The cussing thing has always been like even in houses where it's just like, you know what? The only house I know where I know that those kids will never hear a cuss word is my sister's household, dude.
Yeah.
Like those kids, they're gonna have the foulest mouths as soon as they go out into society. As soon as they hear people using cuss words, they're gonna be like, "Oh my God, these are great."
Yeah.
How did I grow? Why didn't my
Probably.
mom teach me these? Holy shit. Fucking love these cuss words, man.
You got a super
They're like little
chat.
modifiers for every fucking thing in the world.
Man, I'm trying to do y'all a favor and tell them when you got a super chat, but oh, money for Ashley putting up with the chat and being awesome. Oh, that's kind of a super chat for me. That's cool. Look at that. Paul has like 10 million sisters. Aw, you guys are so flattering. Show my wits. I don't have much of that. Somebody said show your wits.
Show your wits.
So I said I don't have much of that.
Show your wits, dude.
Somebody gave a super chat to me. 2, actually.
From now on, my money is for Ashley only. You don't get to decide that, but thanks.
Oh my goodness. Look.
Hashtag
look at all
Team
this.
Ashley goes right in hashtag Team Paul's pocket.
I am just drowning in cash right now.
That's like, you've gotten like $3.50 since I sat down.
Well, I got 5, but like when you left.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa, buddy. Ashley spends her own money. I mean, I guess she does spend my money when it's needed, but
I spend your money when it's like groceries.
Well, yeah.
And like sometimes I'll use my money for our fast food and sometimes I'll use yours. But if I'm getting something for myself, it's usually my money.
Right. I bet that Ellen
my
DeGeneres
God.
isn't nice at all when she isn't on camera. Yeah, dude, I think Ellen is probably a scumbag. I can just tell she's a cunt in real life. I see through that funny facade she tries to put up.
People ask me favorite questions, and I actually like those questions.
You like favorite questions?
Yes.
Oh my god. Well, I'll
Most
tell you
of the
what,
time.
this crowd will make you hate them. You like them now, but I'm telling you, go ahead. Let
Somebody
them
asked
do it to you.
what my favorite burger was.
Uh-huh. What is your favorite burger?
Oh, man. Okay.
Oh, hey, look at that. Ashley for life. Boom.
Wow. I'm getting a lot of money.
Check you out, dude. Are you like
So I have
$6
2
now?
favorite types of burgers, because, I mean, I don't know what my overall favorite would be.
You got it. No, they want to know what your overall
My
fucking
overall
favorite is.
fucking favorite?
Yep. Overall, you can only have one burger for the rest of your life. Fur burger?
I really like, I'm not really too sure. There was that one place in Bellevue that we went to, that we walked to on Old Bellevue, right? And it was like really busy, and it was just like we're in this little table.
Oh yeah, I don't remember the name of that
Some pretty good
place.
burgers there.
Yeah, they were good.
I don't know, like I like small like tavern burgers, and they're just like are cooked like medium. I don't know. I don't like a huge burger. I just like a small juicy burger. That's my favorite kind of burger. But if I wanted fast food burger, it's a McDonald's quarter pounder.
The QPC, dude. The old standard, the QPC. Yeah, these people will make you hate fucking favorites. I've been asked what's your favorite ex?
Yeah.
Favorite Paul moment. There you go. What's your favorite moment? Ooh, that's a good one too. What's your favorite ex?
My favorite ex. Oh, yikes. That could be taken so many ways. Not gonna answer that.
My favorite ex, dude. Wait a minute. You mean you're not gonna answer it? You have a favorite ex?
No, that's the
Oh,
thing.
okay. All right. I see how it is, dude.
Like my favorite one to hate?
No, I don't think that's what they were asking, dude.
No. I mean, some of my exes weren't too bad. But they were all bad in there. God damn, stop. This is kind of making me nervous.
Why?
They're all giving me money.
Yeah, you're like a stripper now.
What the fuck?
Take it off, baby. I got
Show me
singles
your
all
wits.
night. Yeah, show me your wits. Pull out your big fat wits, baby. Hell yeah. Favorite kids show from your childhood. There you go.
Ooh, I really like Dragon Tales.
Dragon Tales, Dragon Tales.
Yeah.
Let's go off to Dragonland. Yeah, I don't really like Dragon Tales, dude.
I liked it.
I had to watch it all the
I
time.
also like Pokemans.
Pokemans. Well, show me those lovely wits, baby. Oh shit. Here's the money I saved exploiting my alma mater's laundry. Please tell me your favorite laundry moment.
The moment when it's hot and fresh out of the dryer, and I just take a big whiff.
Oh yeah, that really is the only good thing about laundry.
Yeah.
It's when
And
you
then-
take them out and they smell all good.
Then I put it all into the hamper and leave it for a week in the laundry room to avoid folding everything.
Here,
What?
show Bob's and Vagine, dude.
Oh, I was reading the one above that.
No,
and I was
show
confused.
Bob's and Vagine.
It's a meme, Paul. It's a meme.
Show Bob's, dude. Ashley, get this fool some soursop. It's super tasty, but Paul is silly. He won't eat it. Tastes like berries and wine.
What is that?
I don't fucking know. He's been trying to get me to eat this soursop shit. I'm not a fool. You're the fool, TJ.
Paul,
You are the
Eat
fool.
it.
eat it.
Eat it.
You are the one who is the fool. I am the one who is smart and
there
wise. He
any
just
pe-
locked the door.
What?
Go knock on it.
Is there any pizza left, by the way?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, no, he didn't.
Okay. How do I get the gift of gab like you? You're born with it, kid. If you had it, you've had it. You have it already. You know, you're born with it, kid. I don't know what to tell you. Some people, you know, this whole all men are created equal thing, that's just not true. That just ain't true, kid.
TJ has dragon tail stuck in his head now.
Dragon tales, dragon tales. Let's all sing some dragon tales. Let's go off to Dragonland. Yeah, I used to have to watch a lot of kids shows when my friend was living with me with his son. That was one of the ones he always wanted to watch, was fucking Dragon Tales. There was another one too. There was one called Bob Goblin.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it might be a newer one. But it was Bob Goblin. Bob's like a cute little goblin, and he lives in a world of, like, you know, fantasy monsters that are all cutesy. And he has a power, he has a magic wand that he can use to fix things, and he roams around and helps out all the ogres and trolls and shit. Yeah, dude, Bob Goblin exists, dude. Go look it up. My shit, you know.
Yeah, so is it like Bob the Builder, but as
No.
a goblin?
No, his name is Bob Goblin, dude. I shit you not, it's fucking true. Look it up. My nieces and nephews all watch Veggie Tales.
Oh my god.
Aren't Veggie Tales? They're like Christian, right? Yeah. It's like a cucumber that talks about Christ. It's like, what is that? What are kids taking from that?
They used to play Veggie Tales at Chuck E. Cheese on the big screens
Yeah.
when I was a kid. I never really like actually watched it. I thought it was kind of weird.
Christian vegetables, yeah.
I didn't know they even though they're Christian. I just thought they were weird singing vegetables, and so I
Dude,
avoided
maybe
them.
Senor Tomat is from Veggie Tales. What do you think? I've been trying to figure out where he came from. I haven't watched a whole lot of Veggie Tales. Maybe he's from Veggie Tales.
Senor Tomat came from a bored person on Tumblr
No, it didn't.
who knows how to 3D model creepy looking fruit.
Tomate. He was excommunicado from Veggie Tales. Oh, shit. What's your favorite Depeche Mode song, Ashley?
I don't even think I know any Depeche Mode songs.
Isn't your mom all into Depeche Mode?
Yeah, but I don't really. Well, actually, it's more my aunt who likes them.
Not really. What about
Mhm.
Hungry Like the Wolf? Have you heard that
Oh
one?
yeah, yes, I've heard that one.
You like it?
Yeah, I mean, my mommy likes Depeche Mode, but my aunt likes them more.
She's
probably.
really into them.
My mommy really likes Duran Duran.
Oh, okay. Got it.
They're like
Wait a minute.
they're a few years
Isn't
apart.
Hungry Like the
so-
Wolf Duran Duran?
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh,
It is.
Okay.
I always get them mixed up. Honestly.
Yeah, I mean.
They sound kind of similar.
Okay.
Both
Woo,
British.
something fine.
Electro Euro pop trash.
It's not aunt, it's aunt. My aunt. My aunt. I don't know, I say both, I think. Are they both 80s though?
Yeah. Dude, room temperature pizza. Nectar of the gods.
My favorite ice cream flavor compilation? What? Like Neapolitan? Like you saying like a few flavors? My favorite ice cream is easy. That's mint chocolate chip.
The
I'll
worst.
drink a gallon of that. Like that. That.
Can't even drink a gallon of it because it's got all that chunks of chocolate in it. It just choke you.
No. Like when you get to like the bottom of that milkshake and it has like a bunch of like little like blended up like chocolate chips at the bottom, you just get to suck them all through the straw. It's like
They just get stuck in the straw.
the greatest feeling.
They
It's
just
the
get
greatest.
stuck, dude.
I don't care. I suck it all. I suck it all up.
I guess it's a good exercise. I need to get you some more mint chip shakes, dude.
Yeah, you do. Remember when you owed me like a bunch of shakes?
I got you those.
Did you get me all of them? I don't think you did.
Yeah, I did.
No, I think you got me like 3 out of like 20.
I owed you 20 shakes?
It was something like that.
It's absurd. What did I get in return?
No, it was
Or did I lose a bet or something?
It was like every time, like, I don't know, like, like you upset me or like did something stupid or something.
Well, every time
It
I
was,
did
like
something
an
stupid.
arbitrary thing, you know.
Got it.
But you know, I was like, I'd be like, that's mean. You owe me a shake.
You'd be like, damn it. And they just racked up a bunch of like shakes, you know?
Yeah. I'm a mean fuck. So, of course, I'm going to end up owing
And
you a
you
lot
know,
of
if it
shakes.
was like something real bad, I'd be like, that's 5.
That's 5 shakes.
Yeah. I don't know.
Why do I don't remember agreeing to this. But I do remember it being a thing, so.
Yeah, I mean, it was a thing. It just hasn't really actually been like a thing in a while.
No, I probably owe you like 20,000 shakes now.
Yeah, it's alright. I'll get them eventually.
You probably won't.
I will. Paul has a terrible memory. I can't even joke about that.
No, that's true. I do.
This is the worst memory ever. I don't really know the Spice Girls enough, I'm sorry. Can't answer that.
I mean, I have a good memory for some things. But when it comes to like little things, like conversations I've recently had, or I'm really bad with dates. That's really where my memory falls apart. I have no real concept of time. Something's in the past, it could be 8 years ago or 8 months ago, and I might not know the difference. Like right off the top. I have to sit and think really hard about how long ago something was. And usually, even if I do that, I'm off by a significant little chunk. I don't know. Some things engrave themselves into my memory and I never forget them, and some things I just don't really have room for.
Somebody asked a go-to Starbucks drink. I told them yours earlier.
Yeah.
Mine is iced green tea, latte with coconut milk, light ice, extra scoop of matcha, shaken in a shaker.
Shaken in a shaker.
Sup, Chelsea? You was napping.
Felt kind of bad, like I forgot Chelsea was in there napping and I went inside ranting and raving at the top of my lungs about something to myself.
Dude, I found out that she didn't even wake up to the fucking fire alarm that went off the other day.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't hear
Okay.
Okay.
I don't know how that's possible, dude.
She falls asleep to
I
you
was-
guys like
I-
doing the show. So
I came inside yelling something. I don't even remember what I was doing. I was like, God, rah, 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 rah. And then I just looked over and you're like on the couch. I was like, oh.
Oh, you got it.
It's like I didn't even hear it. Ugh.
Oh man.
Bye, everybody.